Hello. Today's Wednesday, May the 6th, 2020. I'm here in Seymour Bay, an east-facing bay here on Bowen Island, British Columbia, West Coast, Canada. Been living here a little over a year now. I had a few things coming up in the last few days that I wanted to speak to. Just kind of a general feeling of not knowing who I am anymore. It's like waking up in the morning and being like, feeling a little disconnect, feeling a little, remembering who I was and awareness that I'm no longer that person, and not too clear on who I am at the moment or who I'm becoming. I feel like a lot of big change on the horizon, and I feel kind of a looseness of my identity right now. It's a strange feeling. It's an interesting feeling. I want to speak a little bit about sovereignty as well, because with this whole COVID-19 coronavirus scare, media narrative story, perhaps the most disturbing thing for me was how quickly everyone just accepted that story and complied so willingly, so quickly, without any questioning. And to see everyone to this day, 6-8 weeks later, just like still like perpetuating that narrative without question is very scary to me, very very disturbing. And read something in the news about California threatening to come into people's homes and take potentially infected people out and away to where, and it's thoughts like that it's like, wow, how quickly we've all given our sovereignty away. And it makes me want to check in with myself to see, like, making sure I'm not still giving my sovereignty away, and how do I best claim that in the face of threats or opposition, and how do I stand in my truth, and how do I want to handle that? How do I work it from a place of like peace or nonviolence, or a place of love instead of fear, in a way of not accepting that narrative and offering back my version of reality that's inclusive and welcoming for them to step into as well. I've been feeling the need in these videos to share something around my exit from the Jehovah's Witnesses. I was raised in the religion of Jehovah's Witnesses from birth by my mother, and stayed in that faith through the age of 28. I wholeheartedly believed in and preached that faith for the first 28 years of my life. And then I left it and have gone on my own search for what truth is. And it wasn't an easy thing to do. It wasn't even like I knew right away on the day I was leaving it that I had it all figured out on what exactly I was even doing. It was more that I was feeling the call to do some kind of searching. And that searching over a few years got me clear on the fact that I was done with that chapter of my life. and no longer believed in that version of spirituality, and that I was onto something in my sense that was more true, more real than something I had believed in and studied my entire life. I'll share a little bit of what that inner voice was telling me back then, and that I still hold true to, was that I knew there was something like more ancient, more primal than even the Bible, than even the thousands of year old Bible or holy word or holy text of any faith, even beyond the Bible. No matter how holy the text, who what received from, that there's something even older, something that's like written in our blood, something that's fundamental to consciousness itself, and that to be alive and to be in existence is to be a continuation of that story from source, and that if we feel into that vibration that we are and ride those wave currents all the way back to their origin, to their source, well, then we can have our direct connection back into source. And that this is something that's available to everyone at any given point. Something that predates all doctrine or teachings. That not only sets you free from the constraints, the rules, the programming of all these things, but also starts to tap you in with your own creative source and flow, your own desire to take responsibility for what you're doing with your life, and to take responsibility for everything around you, and to know that if you go far enough back, you're connected to being responsible for all life everywhere. As a creator being, at some point we birthed all this before we even birthed ourselves into this, and if we trace that feeling back, we feel our oneness, our connection to everything, our responsibility towards all life, and the gift that this personal life is right now, and what it is we want to do with it. That realization and that path has been so big for me in the leaving of the Jehovah's Witnesses, and in the searching of my own truth through, continuing to look at many other spiritual traditions. To this day, still fascinated, but I'm getting more and more picky about what's interesting to me from all of them. It's like I'm interested in what they share, what's unique about them, how they serve me in my own personal path. No longer feeling the need to believe in or devote my life to any one of those faiths or paths ever again. For some people, this is a simple concept. It may be what you already understand and know to be true. And for other people, the concept of not needing a redeemer or mediator, as is taught by religions, is a huge concept, and as many faiths would think is heresy, as maybe the word they would use for it. But again, that's from their perspective, from where they are. I start to see it as a place of no longer giving my power to anything outside of me. And knowing that source energy that I am would not want me to do that. Give it away if you'd like, but you're still responsible for it. For everything you do with your life force energy. And not so much accountable to an outside source, but accountable to the own life force energy that you are. For what you choose to do and how you choose to do. I guess that's what's, back to the issue of sovereignty, that's what I would want to encourage in everyone, is to take their own sovereignty seriously without giving our power away, or this person told me to do this, or this person said, those experts said we should do this. And so people that we don't know, we take their recommendation of someone else is supposed to be more in the know than us about something. And it's fine to trust people who have studied up on things more than you, and you decide to trust them. That's fine. But it's still a choice on whether you're going to trust them. And at any moment you can change your mind about that and feel you no longer trust them. You need to pull that back and make your own decisions for yourself. And to me, that's a safer world to live in. People who are in tune with the source energy that they are, and alive with, full of joy, full of creative power within them, knowing that they are an expression of source energy, here now to choose for themselves what it is right and good for them to do and create, and to join forces with who and what they would like to see done on the planet, and to speak up and encourage others to step into that and to stand in that. And then there's no more polarization between man and woman, but to recognize us all as like representations of source energy here. Then there is no hierarchy. There's just other selves that we're working with. I guess I wanted to speak to that is being core to an underlying principle or belief that I hold now that keeps me free of needing a connection with any religion, but yet very deeply involved in my own spiritual path and growth, and not seeking an identity with any group or lineage, but knowing that like the lineage of life is a powerful lineage, a very mystical and amazing lineage to be alive as a human being, and to trace that, and that we are connected with all that is through this life. And to get to know that, to study that, to show up in a devotional way for that day in and day out is the beautiful road and walk that I'm on in my own life, and that I wish to encourage and promote in others, not to follow me, but to claim their own sovereignty, claim and nurture that sweet, beautiful, loving intimacy with spirit within, that's going to like guide you into your own truth, guide you into your own knowing, guide you into your own power of creativity here on the planet. Help to give you a sure foot and a strong foot when someone presents you with their version of reality, to say, hey, thank you, and no thank you. Like, I'll decide for myself what I feel is good and right for me to do. And to me, that's a safer place to live than any one where people are eager to try and show up and do what they think is right by the masses, or to allegiance or loyalties to this group or that group, or for this paycheck. In a way, I guess I understand that this life is all about us discovering this on our own time. And in a way, there's an innocence to our souls that I don't wish to infringe upon, as we all find our own ways into this knowing and understanding. And yet I do wish to highlight it, encourage it, and support my family into stepping into that. Blessings to you all. Thank you for listening to this share. Till next time.